Hey everyone, welcome back to another Call of Duty mobile video. Just a few hours ago we got the very first teaser of Season 5. In this teaser we saw some of the characters and got a glimpse of what the theme of the next season will be. Let's check out the teaser and see what we can learn from it. This video is brought to you by U4GM. They are your go-to experts for Warzone mobile services, from tackling tough challenges to scoring amazing deals on COD points and redeem codes. Use code CAPO for an extra 5% off. In the teaser we see a world map with several targets marked in different places like Brazil, France and China. There's one target in Brazil, two in France and one in China. Here's my theory. These 4 targets might be part of the Battle Pass because typically the Battle Pass includes 4 characters, which could correspond to these targets. Additionally, in the next part of the teaser, there are quick glimpses of these characters, but they are pretty bright and hard to make out exactly who they are. Alright, I've highlighted the 4 targets in red, which are likely the Battle Pass characters we'll see in Season 5. This should make it easier for you to identify them. Unfortunately, even with the highlights, we still can't clearly see who they are. However, we can confirm a few details. The first character skin has headgear, while the second and fourth characters are likely female skins. It's possible that the fourth character resembles Siren, especially with the hairstyle, and considering Siren's Brazilian nationality, it's a good bet. As for the third character, they appear to be male and equipped with high-tech gear. Now the theme for the next season is called Digital Dusk, hinting at a sci-fi action spy theme. We also have some balance changes for Season 5 2024. Special thanks to leakers on duty for providing these. Keep in mind that these are from the test server and are subject to change until officially announced. The MG42 is getting nerfed, which might be disappointing for those who have the Mythic MG42. Here are the changes. The MG42's base movement speed has been reduced from 4.39 meters per second to 4.28 meters per second. This means that players carrying the MG42 will move slightly slower than before, which can affect their mobility in combat situations. The bullet impact of the MG42 has been decreased from 1.3 to 1.05. The speed at which players can swap in and out of the MG42 has been reduced. Previously, it took 0.65 seconds to swap the weapon in and 0.28 seconds to swap it out. Now it will take slightly longer, with 0.72 seconds to swap the weapon in and 0.35 seconds to swap it out. They've also made some specific changes to certain attachments. Recoil Booster Muzzle ADS, aim down sight. Bullet spread debuff has been increased from +6% to +12%. This means that when using the Recoil Booster Muzzle attachment, there will be a greater increase in bullet spread while aiming down sights. Krausnik 355mm Rapid Barrel ADS bullet spread debuff has been increased from +16% to +28%. With this attachment equipped, there will be a significant increase in bullet spread while aiming down sights. It's true that they have not touched the ranges and damages of this weapon, but what they have done makes maneuvering this weapon hard. And when the enemies feel less bullet impact, you are not making that much of an impact against them. The LW3 Tundra is getting nerfed again, this time with an increase in its base ADS, aim down sight time from 480 milliseconds to 500 milliseconds. This adjustment marks the second time the LW3 has been nerfed. In the previous season, the nerf focused on increasing the idle sway, but this time players will notice a more significant difference when using this sniper. The PKM is receiving a buff, which I'm personally excited about since it's one of my favorite light machine guns. However, the changes aren't too drastic. The weapon swap in and swap out speed has been increased from 0.84 seconds to 0.76 seconds. The M4 LMG is getting a buff with the lower arms damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.1. While this change might not seem like a big deal at first glance, it actually means that you'll deal more damage to the limbs when using this light machine gun. It seems like the love for light machine guns continues with the Bruen MK9 getting a buff as well. The upper torso damage multiplier has been increased from 1 to 1.1. This is a significant change because it means the Bruen MK9 will now deal more damage to the upper torso, making it a solid choice for players looking for a powerful light machine gun option in Season 5 of Call of Duty Mobile. It is indeed surprising to see the Holger 26 receiving a buff as well. Here are the changes. The base ADS movement speed has been increased from 2.4 meters per second to 2.51 meters per second. The double stack and lightweight polymer magazine attachment now provide an additional ADS movement speed increase of +8%. If you're using the Holger 26 as an assault rifle, these changes are definitely a positive thing for you. It seems like the buffs to light machine guns keep coming, with the Dingo receiving some attention as well. Here's what's changed. changed. The lower torso damage multiplier has been increased from 1 to 1.07 for the Dingo. While this buff might not be as substantial as the one given to the Bruen MK9, it still enhances the overall performance of the Dingo and makes it a more competitive option among light machine guns in Call of Duty Mobile. Finally, an assault rifle gets some love with the Grocer receiving a buff. The damage range of the Grocer has been increased from 13.22 to 13.26. This change extends the effective range of the Grocer, allowing players to deal more consistent damage to enemies over longer distances. It's great news for fans of the BK57. This assault rifle has indeed received a buff. The upper torso damage multiplier has been boosted from 1 to 1.1 for the BK57. This means that shots hitting the upper torso of opponents will now inflict more damage. If you've been considering switching to the BK57, now might be the perfect time. Great news for ASM-10 users. This assault rifle has been buffed with reduced reload times. Tactical reload time decreased from 1.28 seconds to 1.13 seconds. Tactical reload refers to reloading a weapon with a partially used magazine while keeping the original magazine. Empty reload time decreased from 1.62 seconds to 1.5 seconds. These adjustments make reloading the ASM-10 faster and more efficient. The HPRA-3 has received a buff with a slight adjustment. Sprint to fire speed decreased from 170 milliseconds to 160 milliseconds. This enhancement can provide a small but noticeable improvement in responsiveness and agility when using the HPRA-3. The M13 buff might seem a bit unexpected, especially with the increase in bullet impact from 1 to 1.3. It's understandable if you are a bit confused about the reasoning behind this change. Some players might interpret it as an attempt to make the M13 feel more like a light machine gun for opponents due to its increased impact. It seems like the Echo has been nerfed, but only in Battle Royale mode. Here are the changes. The hipfire pellet spread has been increased from 156, 126 to 186, 156. This means that when firing from the hip, the pellets will spread out more, making it less accurate and effective at close range. Previously, there was some recoil recovery while firing from the hip, but this has been removed. As a result, players will experience more recoil when firing the Echo from the hip. Given these changes, it seems like it might be more advantageous to ADS and shoot with the Echo in Battle Royale mode. Now let's delve into the updates for operator skills and Scorestreaks. It now requires less score to activate the Havoc operator skill. The charge speed of the Havoc has been boosted, allowing players to deploy it more quickly after acquiring it in-game. The ballistic shield has undergone a nerf, with the ammo capacity of the ballistic shield being decreased from 40 to 30 rounds. SAM turret has received a buff in the form of a decreased activation score requirement from 660 to 620. This change makes it easier for players to earn and deploy the SAM turret during matches. With this adjustment, it's possible that more players will consider using the SAM turret in their loadouts. Cluster Strike has been nerfed with a slight increase in its activation score requirement from 950 to 980. While this change may not seem significant, it does make it slightly more challenging for players to earn and deploy the Cluster Strike during matches. The trip sensor has undergone a nerf, with a reduction in its effective duration from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. This change means that the trip sensor will now remain active for a shorter period of time after being deployed. The Molotov cocktail has been nerfed with a decrease in its effective duration from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. While this might not seem like a drastic change, it does mean that the fire from the Molotov cocktail will burn for a shorter period of time after being deployed. Concussion Grenade has received a buff with an increase in its area of effect from 6 meters to 8 meters. The Flash Drone has received a buff with an increase in its area of effect from 15 meters to 16 meters. Before we wrap up the video, there's one more thing I'd like to share with you. You can now acquire a legendary gun or an epic character at a discounted cheap price through the reward exchange event. The trick here is that you should have previously acquired some of the items from other draws to take full advantage of the reward exchange event. For an example, in this account, you can see that I have got 5 of the items already. If you happen to draw items that you already own, the game will automatically refund your COD points. This allows you to proceed to the next draw without wasting any COD points. Alright, I've got 1000 COD points and I'm ready to try my luck in the reward exchange event. Here's the deal. If I get the stuff I already have in the beginning, no worries, I won't spend any COD points. But if I'm lucky, I'll get the things I need right away. Fortunately, I got the motorcycle I didn't have in just my second spin. Now I'm hoping to grab some more items I need early on, but luck wasn't on my side this time. We lucked out with an epic token. A fortunate pull indeed. Now I can use this token to select a character of my choice. I'm calling it quits here because luck rarely strikes twice, and I doubt I'll be as fortunate in the next spin. I've decided to go for the Demir skin since I don't really need it in this account. Surprisingly, I spent less than 300 COD points to get it. If you find yourself with 8 items left in the pool, you'll only need to spend money on the last 2. It's all about strategic spending and maximizing your chances. Even though the total requirement is 3200 COD points, you can snag both the legendary skin and an epic character skin for just 1820 COD points. That's almost half the price. Don't miss out on this event. Check to see if you already have some of the items. If you do, you can get extra legendary gun skins and an epic character skin with ease. It's a great opportunity to get some fantastic rewards at a bargain. That wraps up this video. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay notified of future content.